Hello everyone, I'm Lotta Eriksson, Secretary General of the Swedish National Council on Medical Ethics, and it's my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Andrew Darby, who's a research associate at Lancaster University, and he's also been working a lot within the project of the future of human reproduction, and he has really interesting things to tell you about. Please.
Thank you, Lotta. Thank you. And happy birthday, Smare. It's lovely to be in the celebration. So I'm Andy Darby, a design researcher at Lancaster University's Imagination Lab. I'm here today as the research associate in Speculative Design for the Future of Human Reproduction project to briefly introduce the methods behind the catchily named exhibition, which is open for you to visit upstairs over lunch and later today. So a quick definitional interjection before I get started. So complete ectogenesis aims to gestate a fetus ex utero from conception to birth. As far as we know, nobody's currently trying to do this, but we are extrapolating from the development of artificial wombs for extremely premature infants, which is being explored. And in vitro gametogenesis aims to develop eggs and sperm outside the human body, and that's already being pursued. So, definitions out of the way, the project. The Future of Human Reproduction project, funded by the Wellcome Trust, is a multidisciplinary initiative that examines how new reproductive biotechnologies might shape society in the coming decades. Advances in areas such as ectogenesis, in vitro gametogenesis, and in genome editing may soon transform not only how people have children, but also who can access these technologies and under what conditions. Drawing on expertise from law, philosophy, linguistics, psychology, design, and literature, the research program explores some of the implications of these scientific innovations as they begin to redefine human reproduction. At the outset, speculative design was incorporated as a creative way to foster interdisciplinary dialogue. And one of my roles was to introduce and embed speculative design, and more specifically, design fiction methods into the project. Can we move on to the next slide? Yeah. Am I supposed to be in control of this? I have no idea. They're doing great, though. So, before expanding on speculative design and design fiction, I'll first introduce a useful framework adopted by design for discussing futures, the Futures Cones model. It highlights both desirability, as what is preferable varies depending on your perspective, and likelihood, expanding out from probability to plausibility to possibility. So, speculative design, next slide please, explores what-if scenarios to provoke thought about possible futures, created by emergent technologies intersecting with organizational and societal values. It is often conceptual and critical, focusing on reflection rather than immediate practical application. Designers create speculative artifacts, scenarios, or experiences that represent alternative realities or possibilities, with the goal of encouraging discussion and challenging assumptions about technology, society, or design norms. So design fiction uses world building and narrative techniques, often drawn from science fiction, to tell of future worlds, through their products, services, or systems. By making probable and plausible futures tangible and relatable through targeted speculative artifacts, design fiction helps audiences understand the potential implications and consequences of emerging innovations. Speculative design and design fiction overlap in their futures-orientated focus and concern with societal impact, but they differ in approach. Speculative design is broader, often more conceptual and reflective, while design fiction is a method within speculative design, focused on telling worlds through their designed things. In essence, speculative design asks what could be. while design fiction shows what it might be like if. So, we went through 3 stages to get the research team confidently contributing to the making of design fiction artifacts. First, over several sessions, I introduced theories related to technological speculation and set some speculative design challenges. A process which saw my esteemed colleagues building with Lego, playing with Play-Doh, and writing abstracts for fictional conferences. So that was all a lot of fun, and then we got to work. So we started focusing on complete ectogenesis on that top 2 rows of activity. And I introduced design fiction practice through a series of one-to-one sessions, and through this process we made 12 speculative artifacts. And third, we focused on in vitro gametogenesis, where we created a further 5 speculative artifacts, 3 of which arose through collaborative working, and 2 of which were developed through my own reflections on our discussions of in vitro gametogenesis and the other speculative artifacts. So next slide. I'm not going to show you here what we made in this presentation. So I'd like you to visit the exhibition upstairs. So you'll have to make do with the brief descriptions on the slide for this moment. However, I can tell you that we exhibited the design fictions on complete ectogenesis at 2 festivals, and that allowed us to engage informally with many people. More recently, we exhibited all of the design fictions on complete ectogenesis and in vitro gametogenesis at our project milestone event, and our expert advisory group and award holder community and others were able to offer their responses to the work. We're currently analysing that feedback, but I can tell you it was broadly positive, otherwise I wouldn't have been invited here today. So, in a moment, I will draw on reflections discussing the benefits and potential of the design fiction method. And these reflections were made in a recent webinar by my colleagues from Law and Philosophy, Drs. Nicola Williams and Laura O'Donovan. However, before I do that, I should note that design fiction faces limitations when used for bioethics. It can oversimplify complex moral issues. It can lack scientific accuracy. And exclude key stakeholders such as patients or clinicians. Its inherent ambiguity can blur ethical positions, while its speculative nature risks aestheticizing or trivializing serious dilemmas. Moreover, cultural bias can shape which values are represented, and the gap between provocation and policy means design fiction rarely leads to practical ethical guidance in and of itself. Right, next slide. But design fiction has helped the Future of Human Reproduction project by opening new perspectives through the speculative artifacts, such as NHS web pages and adverts and policy documents and religious websites that revealed ethical, legal and social issues in unexpected ways. It made abstract futures like complete ectogenesis tangible by placing them in familiar contexts, and it supported interdisciplinary dialogue by giving scholars from law, philosophy, psychology, and design and literature concrete material to discuss. The artifacts revealed hidden assumptions, biases, and policy blind spots, while also enabling stakeholder and public engagement by providing low-risk, engaging entry points for reflection and debate before such technologies exist. So design fiction can help others in certain ways. So a wide range of groups by providing a creative way to explore future technologies before they become real. For researchers, it surfaces ethical, legal, and policy questions, while for policymakers, it offers a safe space to test and potential social consequences and prepare for regulation. Designers and technologists can use it to explore potential unintended impacts and understand the broader contexts of innovation. For the public, it translates complex science into thought-provoking scenarios that empower people to imagine and shape the futures that they want. And for communities, it creates opportunities for co-creation, ensuring that underrepresented voices are included in these vital debates. So let's wrap up quickly. Design fiction is a kind of speculative design, a method used to help us think about the future by creating targeted fictional scenarios through products and services. It helps explore a possibility space around emergent technologies. It isn't intended as prediction. It's supposed to make possible and plausible futures feel more tangible and debatable. Design fiction allows us to experiment with ideas before they exist in the world, opening critical discussions about the futures we might want to pursue or to avoid. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can pop upstairs. So I'd like you to, I'll be going upstairs, and my colleague, Zinzi Creswell, could you stand up, please, Zinzi? Will be upstairs as well, and Stephen Wilkinson, our esteemed principal investigator, will also be around to chat with if you would like to do so. I should offer a small content warning because some of the things are a little bit provocative, and it's worth considering of the kind of topic area we're in. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening, and I'd love to continue the conversation at the exhibition. Thank you.